Yo, 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 what is up everyone? Welcome back to a brand new video here on the channel. So hope you guys are all having an amazing day today. And before I start, I just wanted to mention something really quickly. Before people start going down the comment section and saying like, oh man, this doesn't help me whatsoever, why are you making this video? Because this is geared towards some, higher level tier players. Keep in mind, my videos now are watched by a variety of levels, including, low 500s now, and I think that's really cool, but it's kind of hard to make videos that are just completely like level neutral, right? The seasonal videos, that type of thing, basically level neutral. But this type of stuff, there are some, finer details of the game. For tiers, for example, people are trying to plan out what they're going to do for breeding, which dragons to get first, and all that jazz. So I'm trying to make sure that I kind of get all those types of players. So if you don't feel like this is going to help you whatsoever, just click off the video. You don't have to watch every single video. So yeah, I just wanted to mention that really quickly before I got into it. So this video, I'm going to be going over Harbinger tier in depth, and then in the next video, I'll be going over Vanguard. So if there are any tiers that you guys would like to see, let me know down in the comments. Let me know, maybe I'll go down some tiers. I have no problem doing that whatsoever. Just let me know what you guys want to see. Alright, so let's start out with the Warriors. So Morthal, really, spell-wise, this guy doesn't really have a whole lot. Against defended bases, I mean, this Gloom Clouds doesn't really do too much whenever someone's trying to repair it, and he doesn't have a way to heal, and that really impacts his ability to do well. A lot of the top warriors have some way to heal, and that really just allows him to survive. Warriors without heals don't really do very well. Normally. Sometimes, there are exceptions to that. So, we have these two spells. Resist-wise, I mean, Fire Flak Resist and Ice Tear Resist, not the worst resist in the world, but it's not like it's Elemental Resist or something like that. So, he's not even really a tank, he's just kind of a dare dragon, just one that you can use if you would like to. Is he going to be viable in wars? Probably not. Is he going to be useful against mini bases that are built very well? Probably not. He's just kind of there. So I wouldn't really, pressure yourself into trying to get him leveled up quickly. Unless it's for breeding, of course, because he's not going to be viable against most spaces. Now, Widrian. I have not used this guy personally. However, I've seen a lot of him. When he first came out back in the day, I say back in the day, it was like 7 months ago or something, I don't know. He was actually quite strong. So, for me personally, I kind of think he's okay. I know there's going to be people who are like, no way, he's trash and whatever. But I think genuinely for a warrior around this level, if you get him early enough and you're not attacking, super duper high level bases, he could be useful. He can take out buildings. He has a way to heal. Actually, 2 ways to heal. He has a way to gain rage. Fire Flak resist, again, not a bad resist. And then he has a way to increase his attack, which Heated Breath was buffed in a couple spell updates ago. So, not too shabby. Would I say he's the best dragon in this tier? Definitely not. But is he useful? I think he would be for some players who maybe aren't incredible at hunters. He might not be a terrible option. Now, is Trill. This guy is interesting. I never really saw him do super well. I know back when he first came out, when the towers weren't really up to the same strength level as Harbingers, this guy was very strong. He could take out the majority of bases. I think Warlord made a couple videos on him. There's some videos on YouTube where he's taking out max bases, defended no problem. He has a way to heal. He has Cloak. He has Earthquake, which is not a terrible spell. And he has this adaptive resist. However, with the addition of all these flaks and the meta changing to completely maxed flak bases, Istriel really doesn't have the ability to survive. Because if you can't take out the red mage to stun, you're dead. Because the only resist towards any elemental tower, any flak is dark. And really, dark flaks aren't necessarily what does, they do the most damage, but that's not necessarily the biggest threats, right? Because fire flaks and electro flaks both do an insane amount of damage themselves. So if you turn the corner, someone's defending, and you can't take out the red mage quick enough, you're screwed over. So the viability of this dragon has decreased, I think, as the amount of flaks has increased. But is he a decent dragon? I would say so. Is he fun to fly? Apparently, he looks awesome. He's a great looking dragon. He might be useful to just kind of practice with using Cloak and other spells like that. Consume is definitely not a terrible spell either, because it does give a nice amount of health back. Okay, so Shizard. Spell-wise, he's not terrible. He's not terrible. Spell Flux is definitely a nice spell, especially on sorcerers, because it allows them to take out that mage before it can get a shot off, and normally speaking, sorcerers struggle with taking out buildings in one shot. So, and I've said it plenty of times, whenever you have a dragon that can take out a tower with one shot, especially a sorcerer, that's when it starts becoming a little bit more usable in war situations. So, when I was a level 300 or so, like around that level, I saw Shizards wiping me every single time. Not even maxed. I had a decent base at the time, it wasn't amazing, but because whenever there was a good enough flyer, what they could do is they could spam this as soon as they turned, they knew the exact timing, it would kill the red mage, and then they would spam 2 of these. And if they don't have an ice flak or a storm tower, all those towers are dead, because Seeker Shots actually deals quite a decent amount of damage. And then what you can do is you can use 2 of these, use Seeker Shots twice, use this once, and then use this, because that's a total of 5 rage. And that invert will repel any blue mage super shots that come your way. Dark Flak Resist, again, is a great resist because they do a ton of damage. This dragon is wind element, and a lot of people have wind gear now, especially because of Pathox. Now, of course, I wouldn't suggest taking wind gear off of Pathox to put it on Shizard, but you know what I'm saying, like, if you have some extra wind gear, he might be a fun dragon to use. Little Man slash Loken. This guy, I think, is the best Harbinger legendary, for sure. Mostly because of the ability to cloak, take out towers, and healing. This is kind of like, back in the day, I keep saying back in the day this video, like, for example, Dima. For those who are in the game, I came right before Dima. I came into the game, I think, sorry, right after Dima's. Right? I think so. No, right? Wait, yes. I don't know. Anyways, it was close to Dima, whatever. Everyone used to say, if there was a dragon that had Cloak, Death Gaze, and Healing Mark, it would be the most overpowered dragon in the game. Now, of course, that was before Flax, and the game's meta has changed a little bit, but this guy is so much fun to fly. I really enjoyed him. You know, is he gonna be useful against, defended max bases? Not really. Even when, what's it called? Like, level 60, not level 60s, level 65 towers were the top towers in the game. This guy wasn't really that useful against maxed out bases, except for, like, the top tier flyers with insanely good gear. But he's definitely a fun dragon to fly. I enjoy him. He's really good for cleanup, because he has that ability to gain rage. With this adaptive resist, you get 0.5 rage every single time you use it, and then you can kill off whatever remaining towers there are with Galvanic Overload. So, honestly, not a terrible dragon. I think he's the best legendary in this tier by far. Opez. This guy is useless. I want to say useless. Pretty much useless against any normal base, but he is amazing for Invader. I loved him. Awesome dragon for Invader. He's a lot of fun. It's just, any dragon with this spell, Southern Cross Dark, it restores rage and it one-shots 5 towers at once. So you literally just keep casting it, never have to worry about getting rage, and it's just so easy to farm up gold. I used to farm up, millions and millions of gold to level up my infrastructure with this guy. I think he had, like, over 1 billion XP on him at max level still, and I never used him in any other attack besides in the Invader bases. So, do I really suggest getting him for any reason besides that? Not really. Besides breeding, of course. But definitely a fun dragon to fly. Okay, so Mythic-wise. Oh, great. Battery's low. That's great. So, best Mythic. I would say Destar. I really thought Keth would be great. But the issue is that I think if Soul Devour was Chaos instead, or Soul Devour was changed to a spell that increased the amount of damage that he dealt and healed, I think he would be very strong. But because he has no way whatsoever to increase his damage, and this spell isn't like, you can use it strategically, but really, realistically, it's not going to be that efficient. And you're not always going to be able to get the tower that you want to kill, because if it's defended, you really only have a few options of towers you need to kill off first. So Leech Essence really doesn't give you that option, and he just doesn't have that much. I mean, he has a lot of utility. He has a way to gain different spells. He has a way to dodge mage shots and whatever super shots you have, and he has a way to gain health back, but realistically, he just never was useful for me. I ended up benching him a lot earlier than I thought I would. So, Keth, I would think, is actually number 3. Rajan, guys, man, this guy, I remember Princess Dread was hitting me, and this was for, I want to say she attacked me like a billion times, and this was one of the few dragons she actually got past me with, because this dragon is so strong. Also, this was not when I was like under level 300. This was after level 300. Because under level 300, yeah, she wiped me every single time, no matter what. Because to be fair, she's gotten a lot better at flying. So, Rajan, I think, is a very fun dragon to fly. Of course, Ice Flax really screw him over. But you know what? If you don't have... There's still a good amount of good amount of bases these days without Ice Flax on the kill island. So if there's not an Ice Flax, the kill island is screwed, because all they have to do is hit Spell Flux twice. That kills both the mages. They hit this spell, which is Absorb Magic. It gets all the mage shots, all the damage. You get that rage back, and then you just use Seeker shots twice, and it kills off all the towers. And it just wipes bases, no problem whatsoever. I leveled this guy up. He was a lot of fun. He was able to take out bases that basically none of my other dragons could do when defended. Whenever I was a little bit lower in level. So definitely, he's a lot of fun. I was debating putting him on my perch, but because he's a sorcerer and not a warrior, I decided against it. But yeah, he's number 2. Number 1, I think, is still the star. People can argue that it's not, but you know what? He's quite powerful. Dark Flak Resist is awesome. Spell Flux on this guy is amazing, because what you can do is you can use this twice, and because a lot of people have blue mages in the back of their islands, you can actually hit Blood Fury really, really quickly, which makes it to where you get 2 rage back. And then you can use Spell Flux again, take out the blue mage, and then you can use this Frost Shield, and it absorbs all the mage shots. So yeah, I mean, there's some strategies with this guy, but I mean, for a warrior, he's awesome. I really enjoyed watching some gameplay of this guy. Kind of just stroll through bases, no problem. War Dragon's fun. That YouTube channel, if you've not checked it out, search it up on YouTube. Has some great gameplay of him. If you're wondering, I think there's one against like Princess Dread, one against some other top bases from a couple months ago. But yeah, so honestly, guys, these are the dragons in this tier. Hopefully this let you guys know a little bit more about these dragons, what I personally think, what I think, you know, whether or not they would be useful or not. If you want to see any other tiers, let me know down in the comment section. But until then, thank you guys so much for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed, and I will see you in the next video. Peace out, guys.